It's kind of cool to see Khabib running the practices, different. He's in a different part of his life now, helping the younger generation get ready for their fights.
Pessoa.
His wrestling is good, but not really good. But he can defend. But I'm gonna try like many times. If he defends 1 time, 2 times, I'm gonna try more, because I know his weak point. And if I want easy fight, I have to take him down and finish him there.
Islam Makhachev has entered full war mode, and with Khabib Nurmagomedov leading every session, Team Makhachev is preparing to break Ian Garry in the most dominant way possible. UFC 330 just became a nightmare for the Irish challenger. With Khabib watching every move, Islam Makhachev is grinding through brutal wrestling rounds, sharpening his boxing, and building relentless pressure that never stops. He's drilling takedowns again and again, determined to expose Ian Garry's weaknesses and drag him into deep waters. Every lift, every strike, and every wrestling exchange is designed to make Islam an even more dangerous force when they collide at UFC 330.
It's kind of cool to see Khabib running the practices, different. He's in a different part of his life now, helping the younger generation get ready for their fights.
Я делаю.
Khabib made it clear that Islam Makhachev is far more than a training partner. He's his brother. They've spent over 25 years growing up together, pushing each other through brutal training camps and building an unbreakable bond that goes far beyond the octagon. Khabib even admitted that watching Islam win means more to him than his own victories, proving their brotherhood is the real foundation behind Islam's dominance.
Our relationship is much different and completely different. We have brotherhood. We know each other 25 years. We was growing each other. We was going to school together. We have same coach, and we have so many history behind. And people don't understand. Like, I am happy with my guys, my brothers, when they win more than when I win. Like, same thing for me. Islam, Usman, when they win, I just want they gonna have all world, not only one title. And people think we are just sparring partners. No, we are more than just sparring partners and teammates. We are family, and we know each other. Our family know each other. Our kids know each other, and this is a little bit more than people think.
From a different perspective, former UFC champion Robert Whittaker just made a shocking prediction ahead of Islam Makhachev versus Ian Garry, admitting Garry has the size, elite striking, and dangerous jiu-jitsu to create serious problems for the champion. But the biggest bombshell, Whittaker believes Ian Garry has a real chance to pull off the upset and could actually walk away with the victory.
Yeah, well, I think Islam would have to be a strong favorite, but I think Ian's going to give him some problems, because Ian's a tall guy. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He's got great striking. Yeah, I think Ian Garry's going to give Islam a lot of problems.
Okay, but is that enough problems to defeat him, or do you think Islam still takes him?
Yeah, I think Ian Garry can win. I think he can walk away with it, to be honest.
Adding to that, Javier Mendez sent a chilling warning ahead of Islam Makhachev's clash with Ian Garry, insisting fans are making a huge mistake by underestimating the champion's striking. He revealed Islam has spent over a decade sharpening every weapon and can beat Garry standing just as easily as on the ground. Mendez made it clear that while wrestling is always an option, Islam doesn't need takedowns to dominate. He's prepared to expose Ian Garry wherever the fight unfolds.
No, but
You know, the thing about Ian in Islam, he's so damn good on the stand-up. People are sleeping on his stand-up. Don't sleep on Islam's stand-up. I always say this kid, we can change him minute for minute, second per second per round, right? Like the one time when we went out there to fight in Vegas against was it the guy from American Top Team? I forgot his name, Brazilian guy. No, the Brazilian guy. Not Moicano. No, not Moicano. The one before him. Man. Anyways, but regardless, we're going out there, and the plan was to stand with him.
Okay.
Habib and I go, we stand him. So we're walking out there, and I look at him, and I said, "Damn, we're bigger than him." So I tell Habib, change the game plan. We're not gonna stand with this guy. We're taking his ass down. So we tell Islam, take him down. We go in there, what happens in the fight? Islam takes him down and destroys him.
Yeah.
Because I felt we were the bigger, stronger fighter. So I couldn't do that with any fighter. No, could not do that with any fighter. I can't do it with Islam. And that's what people are sleeping on. So don't sleep on that part, because that's the part that he's so damn good. We can do this with him. I've been doing this with Islam now. Remember, I've been with him for 12 years plus, you know, so there's a lot of work that's been done with him and I and other coaches, you know, and he's dialed in as a striker, and people sleep on his striking, think that he has to take Ian down. He doesn't have to take him down. Is it the better choice? Probably, because we know we're the better grappler for sure, but do we have to take him down? I'm saying no, we don't have to take him down. Is it the better option? Probably. But let's see how Ian is able to adapt to what we're gonna do.
Josh Thomson warned that Islam Makhachev's wrestling is far more dangerous than the takedowns themselves. It forces opponents into constant panic and hesitation. He explained that every fake shot and wrestling threat creates huge openings for Islam's devastating striking, just like Khabib used against elite fighters. According to Josh, if Ian Garry becomes too focused on defending the takedown, he could walk straight into the biggest shots of Islam's career.
Yeah, you go back and take a look at the Khabib and Conor fight. I got in not a serious debate, but I had a good conversation, a good debate with Brendan Schaub about it. He's like, "Oh, Conor's just gonna piece him up on the feet." I said, you have to understand, when somebody's wrestling is that good and all you do very well is stick and move on the feet and you use your stand-up, they are more concerned about being taken down. That opens up my ability to land the big shots. And when you saw that in the Khabib fight with Conor, he was able to land the big overhand, right? Because Conor was so afraid of being taken down. And that, I think every single person that fights Islam thinks the same thing. This guy can take me down at any time if I make a mistake. And so they have a tendency to lower their hands a little bit faster, be a little bit more reactive to every feint. And it just throws their stand-up off.
100%.
However, Josh Thomson warned that Ian Garry's movement and long-range striking make him one of the hardest fighters in the division to pin down, comparing the challenge to Rocky chasing the chicken. He stressed that if Islam Makhachev rushes forward or forces reckless takedowns, Garry could capitalize with sharp counters. Josh believes Islam's path to victory is staying patient, cutting off the cage, and waiting for the perfect moment to unleash his attack.
Let's talk about Ian Garry and Islam. Islam, obviously, this is a big deal for him. Defending the title. For me, and I know you've seen the same exact thing. To me, the hardest part to deal with Ian Garry is catching him. It's like Rocky and the chicken. You've got to make sure that you don't rush into it and you're just wasting energy, not making yourself tired, trying to get a hold of him and not leaving yourself open in the process to get hit with some shots. Got to be very cautious, very careful.
Javier Mendez shut down the narrative that Islam Makhachev must rely on wrestling to beat Ian Garry, insisting the champion has far more weapons than fans realize. He declared that Islam's mission is to expose Garry's weaknesses, not chase unnecessary takedowns or play into expectations. Mendez made it clear that if Ian prepares only for the grappling, he could be in for a brutal surprise once the striking exchanges begin.
Well, the beautiful thing about what you're saying is you're correct in general. In general, that's the general rule, right? That Ian Garry's got such a long reach, et cetera, that we'd have to just go in and take him down. But honestly speaking, we don't have to go and take him down.
Islam ain't sleeping on this team. Khabib's got real respect for Ian Garry because that Irish assassin brings problems that can wreck anyone inside the cage. DC's fired up. Garry gives himself every tool to pressure you, make it ugly, and force mistakes most fighters never see coming. It's easier said than done when a guy like that is walking you down, and Islam knows it. He's locked in for a reason. This ain't some easy title defense. Ian's a tougher, nastier matchup than the haters want to admit.
Islam is paying attention. I truly believe that's because he has a real high level of respect for Ian Garry and Ian Garry's game. I love Islam. I think he's very smart. I think he's very thoughtful because he's paying attention to the things that Ian Garry is saying on a number of instances. I know that the team respects Ian Garry a tremendous amount because of all the challenges he can present inside the octagon. Now, if he has done a good job of working on the wrestling, he gives himself a chance. But ultimately, I think for Garry to be successful, he has got to try to find range, and that's more difficult to do and easier said to do when you're fighting a guy like Islam, who constantly is in your face and pressuring you.
Shifting to that, James Lynch didn't hold back. He believes Ian Garry has the fight IQ to compete, but says there's one glaring problem. He simply doesn't finish elite opponents. According to Lynch, Garry wins with smart game plans, not devastating power, and that's a dangerous formula against a dominant champion like Islam Makhachev. In his view, without knockout power or a terrifying submission threat, Garry lacks the weapons needed to truly shake Islam.
Garry really hasn't fought a lot of wrestlers slash grapplers. Obviously, Bilal's known for his wrestling and grappling. Shavkat's known a bit for that too. But like, you know, Bilal is like a much older version of Islam and obviously not as skilled in my opinion. So, you know, Garry didn't seem to have any problems with that. And Shavkat, you know, again, I thought Garry looked good in that fight. Shavkat, you know, he caught him at a time when I know Shavkat was injured in that fight, but seemed to hold his own okay and ended up losing a decision in that one. Shavkat couldn't finish Garry either. So that's another reason why I think Garry could potentially go the distance here. One thing I've noticed with Gary's career here, and look, I got to give him his flowers. Some of these wins are very good. The Prates win is very good. Bilal, I know Bilal's older, but still, you know, former champion and all that. That counts. Michael Venom Page was on a win streak going into that fight as well. I feel like Gary's winning, but he's not winning in impressive fashion. Like the one thing that's been missing is him finishing these fights or him like totally going out there and like just steamrolling someone. And we just haven't seen that. And that's why had Garry had that going into this fight.
However, James Lynch believes Ian Garry's biggest flaw is impossible to ignore. He hasn't proven he can finish elite fighters when it matters most. He argues Garry relies on smart game plans and decisions, but against a dominant force like Islam Makhachev, that simply won't be enough. Lynch says Garry lacks the one-punch knockout power, elite wrestling, and dangerous submission threat needed to truly threaten the champion. Unless Islam has a rare off night, Lynch sees Garry falling short over 5 rounds.
Might feel a little bit better about giving him more of a chance to win this one, but I just feel like Gary's biggest strength is his fight IQ and game planning, and he just is able to win these fights by a good game plan. But I'm not seeing like a huge threat like a Prates, for example, who's been knocking everyone out. Like Garry doesn't have one-punch knockout power. He doesn't have that crazy submission threat like you see with other fighters. You have to go all the way back to his win over Daniel Rodriguez back in May of 2023, the last time he had a finish. And from what I heard going into that fight, Daniel Rodriguez did not train. He basically came off the couch and he ended up getting finished there. And Rodriguez has been finished before too. So I just don't think that we've seen Garry being able to go out there and finish high-level opponents. And I don't think Islam's any different there. I've said it before, this is why for me, and maybe I'm wrong about this, maybe Garry does pull this off and get the big win here. I mean, it's been a weird year of upsets, but that's why I wanted to see Michael Morales in Islam, because Morales has that death touch, that one-punch knockout power. Garry doesn't have that, and I think if you're going to beat Islam, you almost need to be able to do that, because I don't think Gary's going to out-wrestle him, he's not going to submit him, and he doesn't have the knockout power to knock him out either. So that's where I think that, like, unless Islam has an off night or Garry just really has figured out Islam, I just don't see Garry winning this. I think regardless of who wins this fight, it's going the distance. I don't think we will see a finish.
In the end, James Lynch believes Ian Garry will surprise a lot of people by putting up a tougher fight than the betting odds suggest, but he still can't see him dethroning Islam Makhachev. He expects Garry to have flashes of success, including defending some takedowns and creating competitive moments, yet says Islam's relentless pressure and overall strength will take over. In Lynch's final prediction, the champion controls the fight, wins round after round, and leaves UFC 330 with another dominant decision victory.
And I think Islam goes out there and just looks good. I think Garry will look better than we all think, I don't think he looks like a plus 290. I think he looks more like a, I see this, not a pick 'em, but I think Islam is a solid 2-1 favorite in this spot, and I think he'll show that. I don't think he's a 3 or 4-1 favorite in my opinion. I think he'll go out there, look good, but Garry will have his moments as far as like, him either, stuffing takedowns or whatever. But I think ultimately Islam will be too strong, and he'll go out there and win a decision in this fight. So my official pick, like I said, Islam Makhachev via decision. I don't think I'm saying anything crazy here. I think a lot of people are kind of going this way. And I'll say this, if Islam is able to finish Garry, then obviously that's a feather in his cap. But I just think Garry, with the height and reach, it's going to be a little bit difficult for Islam to go out there and get the finish. So,
as Islam Makhachev has entered a brutal training camp with Khabib Nurmagomedov ahead of UFC 330, sharpening every aspect of his game. While coaches like Javier Mendez and analysts such as Josh Thomson believe Islam has evolved far beyond his wrestling, Robert Whittaker warns Ian Garry has the tools to make this a dangerous fight. James Lynch expects Garry to be competitive, but believes Islam's relentless pressure and championship experience will be the difference. Everything now points toward an explosive showdown between two elite welterweights. UFC 330 is shaping up to be one of the biggest tests of Islam Makhachev's career, with Ian Garry determined to shock the world. Whether the champion dominates or the challenger pulls off the upset, Fight Night promises unforgettable action. Now it's time to find out who was right. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more UFC news, fight breakdowns, and exclusive updates. Who do you think wins at UFC 330 Islam Makhachev or Ian Garry? Let us know in the comments.